உந்து மதகளிற்றன் ஓடாத தோள்வலியன் நந்தகோபாலன் மருமகளே நப்பின்னாய் கந்தம் கமழும் குழலி கடைதிரவாய் வந்தெங்கும் கோழி அழைத்தன காண் மாதவி பந்தல் மேல் பல்கால் குயிலினங்கள் கூவின காண் பந்தார் விரலி உன் மைத்துனன் பேர்ப்பாடம் செந்தாமரை கையால் ஷீரார் வளையொலிப்ப வந்து திரவாய் மகிழ்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். Beginning from this paasuram number 18, 19 and 20, 3 paasurams, Andal tries to reach out to Krishna through his beloved, who was none but a girl called as Nappinnai Pirati. In the Mahabharata, especially in the Harivamsha, we come across Neela Parinayam. Neela Devi was incidentally born to Yashoda's brother. She, in the Tamil culture, is called as Pinnai. Since she was a very well-cultured, well-nurtured, seasoned individual, she was Nalla Pinnai, a very good Pinnai. So she was called Nappinnai. So she was treated as the beloved of Krishna, and through her, Andal tries to reach out to Krishna in Paasuram 18, 19 and 20. In the set of 3 Paasurams, we are in the 18th Paasuram. This Paasuram has a very beautiful and very cherishing connection with Bhagavad Ramanujacharya's life. It is said that Ramanuja had swooned to this Paasuram. Let's first understand what the Paasuram is about. Andal tells and gives a vivid description of the early hours of the morning outside the house of Nandagopa. She tells, Undu Mada Kalitran. It is believed in the literature, in the Indian literature, that the mastakam, the forehead, the head of an elephant gives out a certain fluid. It's called a Mada Jalam. And that Mada Jalam is said to be very intoxicating. So much so that even the bees would forget the ambrosia or the nectar lying in the flowers and they would hover around the mastakam of an elephant. So she tells and describes such large elephants which give out that Mada Jalam. Undu Mada Kalitran. Now who owns all these elephants? It is owned by Nandagopa, her prospect father-in-law. Undu Mada Kalitran. Odada Tolvaliyan. She continues that the men who were wrestlers, they were there to protect the house. They were the ones who were engaged by Nandagopa. Odada Tolvaliyan. If such men have been employed, even Nandagopa should be strong. That Nandagopa who owns such Madajalam giving elephants, who trains wrestlers, he has got a daughter-in-law. Nandagopalan Marumagale Nappinnai. Hey Nappinnai, hey Neela Devi, aren't you listening? I am praising your father-in-law. Nandagopalan Marumagale Nappinnai. Gandam Kamalum Kudali Kadaidiravai. Oh, the lady who is now seated with Krishna, I know something very special about you. You have the fragrance of the flowers. I'm not sure if there are flowers that you adorn with. You have a natural fragrance. Gandam Kamalum Kudali. The ones whose hair locks are very fragrant. Gandam Kamalum Kudali. Vandu Kadaidiravai. Vandengum Kori Alaitanakan. Wouldn't Nappinnai ask from inside, why should I come? What time is it? Vandengum Kori Alaitanakan. Look, can you hear the sound of the birds? Madhavi Pandal Mel Palkal Kuyilinangal Kovinakan. Can you hear the chirping of the sparrows? Can you hear the chirping of the koils, the cuckoos? They are all seated in the beautiful Madhavi creepers that are in the beautiful sandalwood trees that surround your house. There are beautiful pergolas around your house. So there are Madhavi creepers and on them are seated these chirping birds. Madhavi Pandal Mel Palkal Kuyilinangal Kovinakan. Pandar Virali. Look at your fingers, Nappinai. They are very, very soft. They are very inviting. Pandar Virali. Unmaittunan Perpada. You may be wondering, Andal, why are you waking us up? What are you going to do? Unmaittunan Perpada. We have come to sing praises about your beloved. Shendamarekkaiya Shirar Valayolipa. You know how you should come and open the doors for us, Nappinai? Shendamarekkaiya. I know your palms are as tender and as beautiful as the freshly blossomed lotus flowers. Shendamarekkaiya Shirar Valayolipa. We should hear the jingling of the bangles. Come and open the door for us. Now, while this paasuram is so beautiful, where Andal requests the Lord's beloved Nappinnai to do the Purushakaram, the recommendation, the same paasuram was mentally being chanted by Ramanuja at one point in time. Because best part of recitation is when you do it within yourself. He was doing it in his mind. That day while he was chanting this paasuram, incidentally, every simile of Andal got illustrated in front of his eyes. As he said, Undu Mada Kalitran, he could see a range of elephants walking the streets of Srirangam. Odada Tolvaliyan, as Andal spoke about the wrestlers and he said that, he saw wrestlers walking. Madhavi Pandal Mel Palgal Kuilinangal Kuvinakan, as he remembered the chirping of the birds that were seated on the Madhavi creepers, he saw Madhavi creepers and the birds chirping. As he said, Gandham Kamalum Kudali, the fragrance of the hairlocks of Nappinnai, and as he was going for Madhukaram outside the house of Periyanambi, he could smell the fragrance of somebody's hair locks. It was none but Periyanambi, his Acharya's daughter called Atturai. As he went outside and he was doing Bhiksha, she knew that he would come by this time, and this little girl, in order to honor the great Yati Ramanuja, came near the door, and with the jingling of her bangles, with her lotus-like hands, she opened the door, and as he said, Shendamarekkaiya Shirar Valayolippa Vandu Thiravai, and as he completed and as she opened the door, it was a beautiful illustration of the paasuram. He thought everything, whatever he said and thought had happened, and he fell out of this excitement. This girl was flabbergasted looking at Ramanuja fainting. So she immediately alerted her father, Periyanambi. She said, Ramanuja has fallen down. Her father said, do not worry, my dear daughter. Nothing would have happened. He would have recited the 18th paasuram. He would have had an experience, so he fell. The girl asked, how did you know of it? Because similarly, even my Acharya, Yamunacharya, had fainted once upon reciting the 18th paasuram. So 18th paasuram has a beautiful significance to the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya.